earlier you spoke a bit about starting silhouette work because you felt closed off from certain painting conversations, and now you are moving away from silhouette work to sort of open up a new conversation. And I was just wondering if you could speak a little more about this journey you've been on.
Yeah, I guess it's kind of ongoing. Initially, as a young painter, I was being met with this kind of, there's a couple of almost standard critiques that used to happen, and I think still sometimes do, where, the young abstract painter will be told that they're not making work that's fully representative of themselves, and this can be told to you by numbers of types of people, not to disparage anyone, I had some lovely teachers coming along, but, it's like, oh, this is the first time we've seen you paint a black woman, would, be a kind of comment that would come up, and then I'll say, oh, right, okay, does that mean something to you? And then, and other times I would do something that was much more kind of, enigmatic and, kind of new imagey, and, black friends and students at school would say, well, you're not doing anything that represents us. I'd say, okay. But it's me, so doesn't that count? But, so I started doing, the silhouettes and really just sort of like trying to take on head on this, this sort of schism between like what it, like the being, the person that I am and the way that I was, being manipulated, I guess, and so in that effort, it's, it's part self-investigation, part cultural investigation, and now there's so much stuff around Kara Walker, the artist, which is like added to the stuff of being a black girl in the world, in America, blah, blah, blah. So that's like another piece on top of my history that winds up having to, be a part of the exploration, whether that's like the person who works with the silhouettes, the person who does drawings, or the person who, is a, cultural force in the world or something, like there's a lot of imports and there's a lot of, dismay. And, I guess there was a small body of work that we sort of ran through very quickly, where I just very quickly decided to, make, it's the...
Turn it off.
Huh? Oh, it's off, yeah. They're, sort of verbal or textual portraits of black women, creative people as viewed on Wikipedia, right? So I just sort of typed out with, these block letters that I cut myself, the sort of biographical entry. And that was a way of just kind of like processing like all the like fame stuff. So I didn't have to make a whole body of work that was about being famous, because that could be the most boring thing in the world. It's like that's, but I did want to sort of address the Kara Walker with the quotes around, and then try and get back to the stuff of what I'm doing in the studio and my other ideas. So that, but in a way, the large drawings grew out of, having to sort of address like the larger question of my being in the world, or my being in the world as it's expanded a little bit. And then bring it back to... I don't know if that answered your question, but I made an effort.
I think it did.